years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Soft. Extra. What was that in Life?
Extra tea.
You ever seen Life, Austin? When Eddie Murphy said he's soft. Jaylen Brown,
eat your cornbread.
You was soft.
I've only played the board game Life. I've not seen the.
Well, this is different.
You haven't seen Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence. You haven't seen that.
DP, you know, we need to send him on the Ebonics
We
trail.
got. We really got to send him on the weekend, don't we?
We had to do it for Nick, right?
Yeah.
And we got after we sent Nick, he's over there at Oasis getting his hair cut, or over there getting his hair cut.
Right, he had to get his first fade.
He's over there at Burke's. Excuse me.
Austin ain't had a fade yet.
Then we got to do Nate.
Austin's hair doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it does.
Nate had.
You don't know?
Oh yeah. Oh,
you ain't seen the dude on the internet?
You haven't seen the dude on Instagram? Oh yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hook you up, man.
So we got to brotherize and we're going to have to give him a to-do list. But this is Old School. This is the original OG today on the day after Memorial Day. We want to give up props to everybody that served. It's very rarely, I will say, DP, if you don't know somebody that has served in armed forces in some form or fashion. So we want to give them props before we get into
that ultimate sacrifice and stuff that people
way
talk
tougher
about
than any football player, basketball player, any UFC fighter. Those guys are more selfless and tougher than anybody or majority of people walking there. So we want to give them the props. Day after, it doesn't matter. Every day, always when you see them out there in in public, always give them the props because they are given the ultimate sacrifice to help us to have a safe,
Uncle
daily,
Thomas,
daily
man,
life.
he went to Vietnam. He went to Vietnam. He was the coolest cat I ever met. My Uncle Thomas. He lived, he lived in the same neighborhood, even in the late '60s. And I'm even young. I don't even know what cool isn't a word yet, but I know that's it.
Yeah, because
he dressed different, he walked different, he talked different. And went to Vietnam and never came back. And it was that thing. It was two parts because my auntie said there's two parts to Memorial Day. Those that go over and don't come back. And then those that come back that aren't the same.
Right.
And
yeah.
she said, right, because the sacrifice is the sacrifice.
Yeah, and you see some things that you
the sacrifice is the sacrifice. And I'm an Arlington kid, and I spent many a day in my youth on Memorial Day and July 4th. We would go down to Arlington. I mean, I could get on my bike and ride to Arlington Cemetery. And so that's what we would do. And then we would get off our bikes. And this is back in the day when you could leave your bike in public, right? And come back an hour later and it's still there.
Right, yeah.
But we would go and pay tribute. And we were amongst the first people who started to leave flags. They would hire you and they needed people. And they saw a little kid running around. Hey, can you carry some flags down this road? Can you carry some flags down this road? So that ultimate sacrifice, man, oh man, bravo. Bravo.
Yeah,
y'all better.
Give those props out to everybody. And then back to business. The Old School, the OG way is brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock. I hope everybody took the advice of us to go down there before Memorial Day because everybody is grilling and chilling on Memorial Day. If not, it's going to be another scorcher this week with good temperatures outside to obviously throw some stuff on the grill or bring ready-made meals for single serving and family serving home. So with that being said, big game last night. Obviously, the Miami Heat had their way with the Boston Celtics. I think they kind of felt like Boston Celtics can win 3, but they can't win 4 in a row. I think it's a mentality thing. I'm going to tell you this. This is new. This is what hurts kids these days, but then obviously professionals. It's a new age idea of basketball of we're going to show up and shoot threes no matter what, right? So at the end of the day, right, the Celtics had control of game 6, but they continue to shoot threes. But it lets you know down the stretch when a team is going to defend the 3 and then they're going to make you miss, and they keep getting 2s and 3-point plays and free throws, they can come back within a minute. Celtics looked lethargic at the end of game 6 in half-court offense. They looked flat out pathetic last night. And the reason why is because you start out 4 for 6, and then you go 4 for 23, and you are all highly paid NBA players. In the first half, I think they were 4 for 21 on threes. The night before, or the game before, they were 7 of 35. So for the last 2 games, you couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. You're lucky enough that White did the best thing that you could do as a player is play to the end of the game and obviously follow a missed shot, and it was a perfect bounce and a perfect putback. But you show up on a must-win game to get in the NBA championship and just jacking up threes. I mean, unsolicited threes. One of the things I saw, and I knew the game was over, in the first quarter, I think, obviously Miami was down, then they got up by 4. Jaylen Brown just came over half court before guys could get set up. It was one pass and shot a deep 3. Okay, I would say you're not Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal. You're not that type of 3-point shooter, right? You're a drive and kick open 3-point shooter. You're a guy that hit maybe a transition 3 where you're hugging the 3-point line. That let me know you're not even in the realm of a game 7. And Miami just said, look, we just got to keep it close, and they'll falter. That loss last night with the Celtics told me more about the Celtics than what I already knew about the Miami Heat. Because Miami Heat, win, lose, or draw, are going to play the same every night. That's why they've always continually be in the fight. The Celtics showed me when it came down to it that you weren't willing to change to get better. And you kind of thought, okay, well, we won this game by playing our way. We're going to win the next one. Like, we just got to keep doing what we're doing. We've heard that before around here. Okay? Straight up. What do you think? You're going to shoot threes better in the playoffs? You didn't play 82 regular season games, 2 playoff series, and here you are in the Eastern Conference Championship. You don't think your legs are tired, and you think you're going to shoot at the same clip as when you're at the basketball apex at the beginning of the season? To me, a team that's essentially the same rinse and repeat team from last year, it lets you know you had no idea what it took to get over the next hump or get over the hump to be an NBA champion.
We were talking about, me, Haas, and Harrison were talking about it yesterday or Sunday, because I said when people hear drag them into deep water and see how they swim, everybody thinks deep water is deep water until you really get into a battle. That's Miami in the middle of a championship game taking a knee, because thinking they sharks and then getting in real deep water with some real sharks, and you recognize, oh boy, I have made a terrible mistake because I got comfortable when I wasn't done fighting.
Right.
So with Boston, what they found out, one, they were outcoached in game 7. The biggest lead, Barry, is that, look, young genius over there tore up the Celtics. He out-coached them. The Celtics walked on the floor in game 7 as though they were still playing game 6.
Exactly.
Third quarter of game 6. Right? They didn't. And all the while, Spoelstra's over there taking notes. Oh, okay, this is the thing they're having a problem with. We're going to open with this. And the attack mode was simply making the elite defenders on Boston work harder than they've ever worked before.
And they didn't even want to work.
Well, when you make the lead dogs tired, them other dogs, man, who ain't used to really working that hard, can't pull the difference. They went at Smart, made him make the bad decisions. Look, Horford, for everything he was trying to do, what everybody in the league knows about Horford is if you make him work defensively, if you make him work from middle of paint to 3-point line, it affects him offensively and then affects him defensively.
Right.
That's what the Heat did. And the Celtics he never adjusted. He never came out.
Is that more on coaching or on the players out there, DP? And we'll get into it the second segment because I view it like you're 100% right. But then I'm going to go to the Celtics offensively. The reason why they got so tired on defense because they weren't playing offense. Because their offense, the best way to kind of slow down a game or to get rest is to run legitimate half-court offense.
Mm-hmm.
So even when Miami threw that 2-3 zone at you, or when they tried to up the pressure defensively, are you secondary cutting? Are you setting good screens? Are you reversing the ball? Actually, DP, when they did, and they made the extra pass or two, they got open threes, and those are the ones they made. Instead of the one pass or 1-2 pass and shoot with a guy right in our face, or we're falling to the side, or it's a three just because we think we need to shoot, and there's 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Well, guess what happens on long shots? Long rebounds. Now you're running back on defense. Guys are in frantic mode.
Yep.
And Miami is just 1-2-3 pass, getting to our spots. I call it killing the paint, getting in the paint, then make decisions from there and start making shots. Because what they don't realize, whether it's Caleb Martin going against Horford or Williams, and yes, they have the height advantage, but when you're in the paint, everything seemed pretty much equal, right? And so when you saw Caleb Martin do that, he started getting to the rim. He's starting to hit his mid-range. He's a good open three, especially on the second pass. Boston wasn't anywhere to be found, and I'm willing to bet their coach made adjustments during timeouts. I don't think their leaders were engaged. Their body language was horrible, right? They were just okay with just getting there because they thought, we won this game. There's no way in the world we can lose this game. That's kind of like showing up for a home football game against
Troy, Northern Illinois,
somebody like that,
McNeese
and thinking
State,
just because we're at home, they're going to lay down. Look, everything's on the line, and if there's one team that's going to punch you dead in the face when their backs against the wall or on the ground, is the Miami Heat. So
Fighters.
We're going to talk more into that because I think there's things that you can take from the Miami Heat's mentality. Talk about Nebraska, or just talk about sports in general and how we can maybe prognosticate this Nuggets in the Heat finals, because it's finally set a week later, but it's finally set. So after we come after a short break, it's DP, Jay Foreman, and Austin NBA playoff talk.
You're listening to Old School with DP and Jay. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Nebraska's favorite vape shop,
Generation V.
providing friendly, personalized service and the largest selection of vaporizers and e-liquid flavors in the state.
Generation V.
Generation V will beat or match any local competitor's price. With a huge selection, great service, and the lowest prices, Generation V is your one-stop shop for all your vaping needs.
Generation V.
With 4 Lincoln locations, visit us on the web at generationv.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
It's May, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride. Summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we are celebrating a record sales month in April, and we're going to let it roll and crank up in the month of May. We have some big discounts and special interest rates going on this month on selected new in-stock Sierras and Silverados. Buy a new Silverado or Sierra, get $3,000 off or 1.9% interest. You heard right, $3,000 off or 1.9% interest. We have outstanding specials on all of our new and pre-owned GM certified units. So stop on in and see us or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. New discount, must trade in and finance with the roof credit.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in May. Try their pesto cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. And try the Karma Latte, as 10% of proceeds from that drink will go to the Teammates Mentoring Program. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
From the first pitch of a late-night Little League game to the sweet taste of frozen treats, LES powers all of life's special moments for only $2.88 a day. Learn more at les.com/value.
Spring is here and it's time to get those seeds in the ground. There's no time for delays if your equipment needs a new part. That's why Acres stocks thousands of premium John Deere parts for all your ag machines, planters, sprayers, and tractors. Acres has what you need now. Now, the team of John Deere certified technicians, Acres will diagnose and repair your equipment quickly. Visit acres.com to find your closest location. Our team of parts and service professionals are dedicated to keeping you operating at full capacity. Acres, solutions for every field.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back, Old School, the OG way. Jay Foreman, DP, brought to you by the Mercado. Again, we'll keep giving them props because we appreciate their support. At the end of the last segment, we talked about the Celtics, where they go from here, who stepped up, who didn't. Obviously, if you've seen the game last night, nobody played well, but what it means for them. But then also, more importantly, the NBA Finals is finally set. And does Denver have the distinct advantage of playing, I think, Thursday as their first game? Yes, Miami is in Denver, getting used to the altitude, but they had to play 3 extra games, or actually 4 extra games. And so where Denver has been resting. Are you ready? Or are you rusty? There's a lot of questions for the Denver Nuggets. Good questions, though, right? I think Denver understands that they are the favorite. They should be the favorite. Miami should understand that they are the underdog and should be the underdog. They've been it the whole year. How long can they ride this Jimmy Butler, where the guys that have been overlooked against the best team with the best player in the NBA? And that's going to be a big question. But before we get to that, we got to try to figure out what the Celtics were doing. I don't think I wouldn't call it a bold statement. I'm just going off of what I saw last night. I don't think they had any intention of winning last night. I felt like they were happy to be in Game 7. A lot of I told you so. We told you all we needed to win is one. Riding the high of the putback kind of smoke screened all the issues that got them down to 3-0. And they didn't look at the Game 6 besides looking at the third quarter or that last play. They didn't look at it. How did Miami make up a double-digit deficit in a little bit over a minute? Because that's what Miami's going to fixate on coming into Game 7. They also thought.
Look at Coach Foreman. See, he couldn't even help himself. He had to go straight Coach Foreman.
They also thought, which is a personal choice, right, that it was an automatic win that they were playing at home. It was an automatic win that they were going to discover or get super hot shooting threes, that the reserve players were going to shoot threes. And it didn't happen. And so when it didn't happen, they didn't have anything didn't have any adjustments. And really, to be honest with you about the Celtics, they're the classic example of a front runner. Those are guys that'll get you close enough, show you spurts of greatness, will never get you over the edge. Yeah. It's a weak-minded mentality. They're really, really tough. They're really, really good defensive team when they're hitting. But when it comes down to it, they don't want to play real basketball. So the same thing that you saw against the Heat, and if they were lucky enough to beat the Heat last night, which they got dominated, but if they got up against the Nuggets, they were going to get beat even worse because the Nuggets is actually a better offensive team. So in my opinion, two best teams are playing, or two hottest teams right now. I think the Heat are the hottest team right now, along with the Nuggets. But the Nuggets has been, in my opinion, from game one all the way through, they have been the most consistent and in my opinion, the best team. There's been other teams that have spurts, right? Philly kind of went on a spurt, and their whole focus was getting Embiid the MVP, which is probably the dumbest thing ever, right? Got a coach fired, but hey, this is the coach that got you to MVP, and he got fired. Lost again in the playoffs. But from all season, they've gotten better at what they didn't do last year and years prior. And then they have continued to not have too much of a lull that most teams have during the season. They have been not smooth sailing, but very consistent. And now you're seeing it in pay off, and you're seeing two guys or a team with two superstars that are healthy in Murray and the Joker, and they're fresher, and they have better continuity as a team, and they're just as tough as Miami. They're just as well coached, right? They're gonna be prepared, but I think they have more talent than Miami. And Marcus Smart going under 6 picks in a pick and roll against Duncan Robinson, Caleb Martin, and Jimmy Butler, that's not going to happen with the Denver Nuggets. They're facing a coach that will put a Brogdon or a Pope in there or Brown in there, for Nuggets to stop a run. If Caleb Martin gets going, he will call a timeout and say, hey, your job is to get him off his spots. Joker, do your thing. And that's what you could do. And really, I think the difference, DP, I want your opinion on this. Mm-hmm. The difference on what Malone has versus what Joe has had for the Celtics, where if Malone implores Joker first, Murray second, Gordon, Porter Jr., Pope, whoever, he knows what he's going to get. Whereas Joe, he's saying it, but he's getting a gloss-eyed look over where they're hearing him and not listening. Talk about that from a coaching perspective, right? And I know you've had really good players to where you can go to him and say, or her, and say, listen, I need you right now. We need you right now to do our thing. So then you can tell Jay Foreman Austin, I need you to do this and nothing else, because I know whoever is going to handle this.
Especially when you look at previous meetings between Nuggets and Heat. So the last two meetings, it came down to this. One, reserves shoot better at home,
right?
Which was Denver's sole advantage in the last home game against the Heat. Teams were equal, stat for stat, number for number, play for play, except down the stretch, the Nuggets hit their threes, Heat didn't. And in both games, the last two times they've won, it's been 4 and 5 point games. Both games were battles down in the fourth quarter. Here's what the Heat did that's a little different. Adebayo has a little bit of a cheat code when it comes to Joker. He has a little bit of a cheat code because he's that great in between with the length of a 7-footer, right, with the agility of a 6'8". He gets in Joker's way.
Yeah. Well, he can run with him.
Yep.
Beats in the spots. He can defend full court if he needs to. Yep. He's kind of what Anthony Davis was in the bubble,
mm-hmm,
and he's been that ever since he's been in the NBA.
Right.
Whereas Anthony Davis has tried to morph into a better version of Karl Anthony Towns and has lost his way on the defensive side of the ball. Whereas Bam is that guy. But here's what Bam does on offense that hurts the Joker.
Mm.
His ability to really take Joker off the dribble and finish strong through contact.
He actually outscored Joker in one of the two games and was like 23-19 in the most recent game.
Right.
On half the shots. Right. On a third of the touches. So he was getting money for his work. And then the other thing was in both of the last two games, the Heat actually led going into the fourth quarter, both games, home and away. They got numbers from the deep, deep reserve. So if I told you that the Nuggets in the 124-119 game, they were down 10 points. They were down by 5 going into the fourth. That Highland, Brown, Pope, Murray all had double figures in the second half. That you had 9 players in double figures. You shot 60% from 3. Didn't happen any other time all season long. But that's what was required. Coach put in his shooters at the end of the game, left some of the starters out. He took Aaron Gordon, put him on the bench. Michael Porter Jr. put him on the bench and rolled with his shooters who were having a night, so they won it. Identifying game situation in the NBA Finals is Pat Riley. And let's be clear, Pat Riley's the X factor for me. There's nobody in basketball who's been to more of those than Pat Riley.
Right.
That's the part that I think we lose because he's seen Joker before. He's seen Murray and Gordon before. Pat, this ain't new. This is not a new rodeo.
Pat Riley's input on Basketball Matters is different than, say, Rob Pelinka.
Right. So when you go through it, right? Like, no, but that's the thing, right? You go through it and you go, okay, the talent level doesn't change in the NBA Finals. Management of said talent always changes.
Right.
And some coaches say I'm going to shorten my bench in the NBA Finals. Some say I'm going to play whoever is going to fit. The Heat, it's whatever we're going to fit. The Nuggets, we play our guys. And if they're playing well, then we make changes. Again, you're not going to shoot 60% from 3. That's what it took for them to beat the Heat. Just watch the three-point shooting in this entire series. Pay no attention to the first 3 quarters. Watch the fourth quarter and the three-point shooting in the fourth quarter, and it should tell you the story of this series.
Yeah, it is. And it's, I think one thing for the Nuggets is that they're getting a different version of Jamal Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was still kind of working himself into basketball shape, which Denver did a really good job of managing that.
Mm-hmm.
You're one of your individual star players, along with pushing Porter, Pope, and Gordon. So the Heat are facing a different animal, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the Heat are going to be the Heat all the time. And all that's kind of it's not thrown out the window for the NBA playoffs, but it's different because I would venture to say this version of the Denver Nuggets is better than what the Heat faced, and I would like to say that this version of the Miami Heat is different and better than the Nuggets face.
Yeah.
So you got to expect their best effort. Now you can kind of look at some things that you can kind of be transferable, but it's all about matchups. It's about game management. I think the coaching is even Steven. I think Pat Riley gives you an edge. One of the funny things is Pat Riley has been involved in 25% of all the NBA championships. That's crazy. 1-4. It's like Tiger Woods when he was winning. Tiger Woods was like 28, 29%. So he was winning every third or every fourth time he was playing. Same with Pat Riley.
Who would you have rather had in your organization, Pat Riley or Phil Jackson?
Long-term, Pat Riley. Short-term, with really good players, Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
Phil Jackson showed you really who he is with the New York Knicks, with Carmelo, drafting the French guy.
Yep.
Now, he did get Porzingis. I thought that was a really good draft.
And then screwed the pooch on it.
And then somehow decided to trade him. I mean, he finally started to ascend. He's like, yeah, I'm done with you. Versus Pat Riley, everywhere he's been, and the way he's built the Miami Heat up as a coach and then transition up to the front office, and it's been steady, right? Had him competitive with kind of so-so talent when he was a coach. Got 2 championships out of him with Wade and then obviously LeBron.
Yep.
And then he's already had him in the NBA championship
Mad
again.
scientist. He back behind the curtain.
Well, he's changing, but what he's not doing is the foundation. And we could talk about this with football at the top of the hour, and we'll talk about obviously Logan Smothers. The foundation is still the same. All the stuff around it, he's willing to adjust. But at the end of the day, that Miami Heat is built the same way that the ones where he coached, and the same ones that
same dogs.
Was the same mentality. Look,
Yeah.
Look, and the one thing I always talk about Jermaine O'Neal, and they were talking about Jermaine O'Neal not getting his props and potentially being a Hall of Fame player. They're talking about the palace and stuff like that, and how he was mad at Ron Artest because Ron Artest, in a lot of ways, sold him out, right?
Yep.
But then he was talking. Jermaine O'Neal was talking about He decided to come back because he wanted to prove that's not who he was with the Indiana Pacers leadership. But one of the places that he was going to go to was the Miami Heat, and they were going to make Dwayne Wade and him, but then they got Shaq, right? But guess what he said? Went on his free agent visit. Obviously, Miami was great. He talked about no state taxes and all that. Pat Riley slid the paper over to him and said, listen, this is your body weight that you need to come into training camp, and this is your body count compensation. You got to be a certain body fat, got to be a certain. Yeah. And Jermaine was like, nah, I'm cool with that.
Sandwich.
He's like, I like my donuts and all that other stuff. But Pat,
I'm Team Jermaine on that one. Sorry,
but Pat, I would have made some concessions, right? Because I figure with Jermaine O'Neal, I can get you here and then kind of reform you, right? But at the end of the day, it lets you know that Pat Riley wasn't willing to change for one player, right? They talk about why Shaq left, right? Where Shaq took one for the team and challenged Pat Riley after winning the championship because he had to show his leadership, and Pat Riley was dressing down Dwayne Wade and a couple players. Well, Shaq wanted to step up, and him and Shaq got into it, nose to nose. Well, then Shaq got traded the next day. See, Pat Riley ain't changing. He's just going to change the parts.
Here's the one. We'll close the segment on. I'll ask you. This is Jay Foreman. You are a connoisseur. You are a Renaissance man of clothing, right? But you can only choose one. You choosing the style of Pat Riley, or you choosing the style of Chuck Daly?
I'm going Pat Riley. I'm going Pat Riley because
Chuck Daly was
Chuck Daly was smooth.
When Chuck went full on and the Pistons became the Pistons, like they started winning when Chuck went with the slicked hair. As soon as he slicked the hair, he was like,
he went alpha.
Right?
Yeah. Chuck Daly reminds me of the guy that owns all the Ford dealerships in Detroit, owns the nightclubs, and never paid taxes.
Right.
And if you made him mad, you just came up missing.
And you knew people. Like you knew Pat knew everybody.
Right. So, but
Chuck Daly would be like, wait a minute, what'd you say?
I'll go with Pat Riley though. Any man that goes on a yacht with Magic Johnson and can hit the electric slide like Pat Riley did,
fair.
And he can wear a pure white suit.
Yep.
During the week.
Gangster.
He wears it during the week. I'm going to go with Pat Riley.
He wore it on a Tuesday night.
He wore it on a Tuesday night. I'll never forget. I watched it, TNT, NBA TNT with Shaq and them, and they showed Pat Riley. He was up in his box with a white suit. So that sold me right there. He said, listen, they're crocking the tubs. I am that guy.
He you know what? He dressed like Chuck Foreman. That's what
He didn't have the chops like that, but he did it. But they say Pat Riley, with his players, how he's able to keep them in check in Miami, is that he knows everybody in Miami, and they all report to him to make sure that it. And then obviously you got Adonis. So good segment. We're going to come back at the short segment. I know we're not giving away anything, DP. I got a question for you though. I saw it today. It popped in. I know you're a Utah Ute. I got a trivia question for you. I know you know the answer, but it'd be good for people out there.
Let's get it.
To see your answer. Jay Foreman, DP, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
From the first pitch of a late-night Little League game to the sweet taste of frozen treats, LES powers all of life's special moments for only $2.88 a day. Learn more at les.com/value.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that, options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
Attention Lincoln. Looking for an effective way to reach the fitness goals you haven't been able to accomplish on your own? Body Fit Training science-based programming is led by multiple highly accredited coaches who will help you get the results you're capable of. Their group of strength training classes are designed to help you build muscle, burn fat, and improve your overall fitness level. At BFT Lincoln, you'll train like an athlete and be surrounded by motivated and like-minded individuals. For May only, get 1 week of classes for just $7 by visiting bodyfittraining.com. Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in May. Try their pesto cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. And try the Karma Latte, as 10% of proceeds from that drink will go to the Teammates Mentoring Program. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe. Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Time for a new AC? Call Bryant. Get rebates now and lower operating costs every day. For comfort and efficiency, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. DP, J Foreman, old school, the OG. Get my headphones on here. Let me keep them on. Anyways, we got a short segment here before we hit the top of the hour, DP, and talk a little Husker talk. Obviously, big news is Logan Smothers.
He's a Gamecock.
You know, he's Jacksonville State.
Gamecocks.
Right? Or are they Gamecocks? Okay. The only thing I remember is Jacksonville State beating Florida State on that last-second Hail Mary.
The fighting Gamecocks of Jacksonville
so that's big
State.
news. We're going to cover that little Husker talk at the top of the hour. But I want to ask you this, DP, since you know you're Utah Ute by obviously association.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you who, in your opinion, okay, I have my opinion, is the most famous running back ever to play at the University of Utah?
Dirty Bird.
Oh, okay. You got it right off the top. You got it right off
Dirty
the top.
Bird. Look.
I was gonna say just because Jamal Anderson.
It ain't. What's the proper way to describe this? Me and Jamal know the same people.
Well, I don't know if you really want to say that though.
No.
You know the same people.
We know the same.
Run with the same people. Jamal
we know the same people.
Some circles in Atlanta you might not want to roll with.
All of that factual.
Right. But
the
reason why I wanted to ask, I mean, it would have been a good trivia question. Not really, because he's probably the only real deal running back to come out of there.
Chris Mamatu.
Yeah.
Mafala.
That's who I was thinking next.
No, they had some dudes.
They did, but the Buffalo drafted but he had small hands. He had fumbling problems.
Yeah,
they've had some guys, but Jamal Anderson kind of came
Mike
up.
Anderson for
Mike
the Broncos.
Anderson,
For the Broncos.
I was gonna say him.
He's
He's the third. But Jamal Anderson burst onto the scene out of nowhere because he was a late draft pick.
Yeah.
Hurt his first year. Then remember they tried to make Christensen their fullback, the running back, and they've had a host of guys in there. And then once he started to kind of get on a run, obviously he had his dance, right? And I saw, they had, as we get close to the NFL season and college season, they start to play some old highlights, and they're talking about Jamal Anderson and had, his runs and him doing the dance, the Dirty Bird. And I remember it obviously because I went, we went and saw them when they beat the Vikings when Gary Anderson sliced the 30-yard kick. But it was funny. One year we were in Buffalo and we weren't very good. We were down there playing, and Brandon Spoon, who was a linebacker from North Carolina, he was a rookie. I mean, I always say, man, he had the biggest arms in the world. I was like, dude, you just been doing arm curls since you've been like 5.
Like he woke up.
I mean, he had
in the crib.
Veins everywhere. I mean, he was built, a big old dude. He could run. I tipped the pass. He picked it off. And I told him before the game, like, one of us scored, you've got to do the Dirty Bird.
Yeah.
And Brandon was straight as an arrow. So he scored. He thought I was giving him daps. I was over there doing the dirty bird. So I'm gonna do it for you, man. You know what I'm saying? So he got to take the ball. He running back to the sideline. I'm hitting the dirty bird up and doing all that stuff. But I wanted to ask you that just because Utah Utes are
they
are under pressure this year, though. DP.
I mean,
they are under extreme amount of. Oh yeah, because they listen.
Wouldn't you rather be them than Nebraska?
Well, sure.
Wouldn't you rather be them than
actually
USC?
Well, here's why. When you're a team that's kind of always been under the radar, and then you get better and better, then you beat up on USC in the season, you go to Washington and beat them, and then you're always in the Pac, 12 or whatever championship, and you end up winning
2 Rose Bowls.
That's great, right?
Yeah.
That's like people every year they're just not picking you, but they're like, we should pick Utah, right? Now they're picking you. Now the expectations are high. So now the loss that you have early in the season before you get rolling is to a bigger magnitude. Like they lost to Florida last year. Now, would I rather be Nebraska? Well, Nebraska, there's only one way is up. Like if you win 6 wins at Nebraska, I'd rather be Nebraska because with the schedule and the way it goes, we can get to 6 to 8
Utah
wins.
ain't got no look. The questions, there's a whole I say this and I mean it because it's how I evaluate life. That if you want to know about a team, how many questions do you have about it?
They don't have a lot.
And there are far more questions about Nebraska than there is about Utah. And it doesn't matter if think Nebraska, you were in the elite category. Yeah, you got your head kicked in a conference championship game, but you got invited to the dance with a VIP ticket. And now you can't buy your way.
Had a time frame on it, but
you can't buy your way into that now. No.
But when you have not had this type of national expectations, that means more people at the games, more interviews, more expectations.
That's 93.7 the ticket.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. That's what we
Come
like.
on. Like tell me this little station.
It's a different
Jay,
realm
than
what they're used to.
Jay, let them tell us that that little station out in the middle of nowhere will never be relevant. Tell them that little station on the end of the dial with a little transmitter, a little tower is never going to be important in Lincoln. Tell me that Hall of Famers don't want to walk in the door, not only want to walk the door, but ask to walk in the door and want to hang out and invite other Hall of Famers into the door. That's Utah.
Right. We hope it's Utah.
Yeah, we hope Nebraska
we're going to see.
hopes.
We're going to see here in 95 days what's up there in Utah because listen here.
Nebraska hopes that a year from now, we talking, oh boy, people got expectation about Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
You better hope for it. Feed me.
Oh, yeah. But it's different. I'm going to tell you this. It's different. It's different when you have never had this type of expectations.
Yeah.
And then when you got people in the conference, okay, it's different. If Utah had this expectations and the Heisman winner wasn't at USC with all them defensive linemen maturing, and Oregon wasn't on the cusp, and Washington ain't looking for a rebound,
right?
And just hope that Arizona State just don't come up and do something.
Yep.
That's different. Versus like Nebraska is kind of like everybody's like, all right, they got to get to step A. Utah is expected to be New Year's Day bowl. they should, if they get past USC, you should be expecting this is the first time a Pac-12 team gets into the college football playoffs before that expansion.
Give me the expectation of greatness. Give me the standard of greatness. Give me the responsibility of greatness.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't understand that lower level. Hey, get me to, like that 500 talk makes my skin crawl.
Right.
It makes my skin crawl. But I understand it until
you
it
got to
doesn't
know where
happen.
you got to know where you're at. Now Utah's never been where they're at.
Yeah.
That's what's going to be
Well,
different.
ask Alabama in the Sugar Bowl under Urban, under Kyle Whittingham.
But DP, that's different.
Yeah.
You're surprising people when you show up with the expectation. Facing Alabama is different. It's kind of like
Urban.
It's like
Urban
UCF.
was a surprise till Urban became Urban. Like Urban always knew he was Urban. Urban didn't care.
Right.
Kyle Whittingham went undefeated. Didn't care.
Right.
Them dudes, like I need more of them dudes. I need less of the dudes that make excuses because they not 500.
Oh yeah, yeah, but operating in those type of areas is a little different.
boy.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Top of the hour, we're gonna talk a little Husker talk, a little college football talk because we are getting close. 95 days. I don't know who wore 95 in Nebraska. Jason Peter before he switched to 55. So we'll do that. 95 days, Jason Peter days, the first part of Jason Peter days before we get to play a football game and meaningful days. 95 days goes by so quick. It seems so daunting until you get to about 15 days out, Austin. And then you know it's about to be Armageddon. So DP, Jay Foreman, Austin, we'll be back at the top of the hour. Husker Talk, Logan Smothers. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Attention Lincoln. Looking for an effective way to reach the fitness goals you haven't been able to accomplish on your own? Body Fit Training science-based programming is led by multiple highly accredited coaches who will help you get the results you're capable of. Their group of strength training classes are designed to help you build muscle, burn fat, and improve your overall fitness level. At BFT Lincoln, you'll train like an athlete and be surrounded by motivated and like-minded individuals. For May only, get 1 week of classes for just $7 by visiting bodyfittraining.com. Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Hi, this is Becky from Midwest Bank, and our team is here for you. From our friendly staff to our innovative products to our online banking and mobile app, all of our services are designed with you in mind. We'll help you open a checking account, apply for a loan, open a credit card, or start saving for the future. We do it all. We're your local community bank, a trusted partner that's here to serve you. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. It's May, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride. Summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Hi, I'm Barb Bettine, President and CEO of the Lincoln YMCA. On behalf of the Y, I want to thank you for voting us Lincoln's Choice for Best Youth Sports Programs, Best Youth Activity Programs, and Best Preschool. These categories represent so much of what we do at the Y, and we're honored to serve thousands of families in our community each and every day. Hey, with summer just around the corner, I invite you to stop in to one of our 4 branches and learn how the Y can be a part of your family. The Y Outdoor Pools open May 27th, and we can't wait to see you.
Happy Hour.
Nebraska is 2-7 against Quad 1 opponents. They were 11-8 against Quadrant 3 opponents. In Quadrant 4, they were 14-6.
I think 14-6 is pretty good, but
not when you're 2-7
in Quad 1
against Quad 1 and you're 6-2 against Quad 2. I did pull up Vanderbilt's, and just looking at sheer opportunity, Vanderbilt plays 35 games against simply Quad 1 opponents.
Weekdays from 1 to 2 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carry out, or schedule a catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back, Old School, brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat, every type of cut. I'm Jay Foreman, DP in Austin on the 1s and 2s, making a sound and look good. As we mentioned in the first hour, kind of in the crossover with Strick, Logan Smothers has found a home, has made a decision. You know, I think Nebraska had opened the door, kept the door wide open. I'm assuming, at least that's what everybody says, that wide open for him to come back, let him to go explore his options, but always knew he had a home here. Logan I think, has been the ultimate team player in the sense of there was 2 or 3 times he could have, packed up and went home. He's a coach's kid. He stuck it out. He competed. He exceeded expectations. And I will say this, he on a less than a week's notice, he had Nebraska with a 2-score lead against Iowa at home and was not part of the reason why they lost or we lost that game. So he shows you he has talent, but he picked the school, Jacksonville State, a good home for him. Rich Rod is the head coach. I think it kind of fits his skill set, his size, and his game, even though I felt like with the quarterback room and the offense fitted as well. But I think this is a unique opportunity for him to be a late transfer portal addition and to find a legitimate starting spot that is ready-made for him. You know what I'm saying?
This is an offensive juggernaut program.
Right.
Like that's
one thing they're going to do is score points.
An offensive juggernaut program. This is so he's not going to the Little Sisters of the Poor. He's going into a 9-2 program. 9-2. Undefeated in the conference play. There's a lot of discussion about where they should have been in the postseason. Won their last 3. So, again, he's not walking into a bad situation. Ready for this, Jay? He scored 42 points against Stephen F. Austin. It tells you 34-3, they beat Murray State. Their only hiccup, the hiccup that cost them postseason, was a big loss to Tulsa early in the year. 52 against Nichols. Beat Kennesaw State. Beat North Alabama. We know about North Alabama. They lost to Southeastern Louisiana, beat Austin Peay. Eastern Kentucky, they beat Eastern Kentucky by 3 scores, and then Central Arkansas by 4 scores. This is an offense. They put up points. They defend well. Quality recruiting, high level. Noah Walters, similar level of play, right?
Yeah.
That he went down and won the starting job at North Alabama. That's the caliber of play. And it will say something because, Jay, everything has a meaning. The fact that Logan was invited back. First of all, the fact that he left. Second of all, he was invited back. Third of all, he chose Jacksonville State over Nebraska. I just want to circle that and tell me what that means.
What does that mean? I don't think it means anything.
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
I think it means that, look, Jeff Sims is the starting quarterback, won the position in the spring.
Okay.
He knows going into the season, Jeff Sims is head and shoulders above everybody else.
Okay.
He would be in competition for this, the backup spot, but obviously playing in the Big Ten and playing how Jeff Sims played, you would most likely get a chance to start in one or maybe more games. But you are not going into the season in an open competition, at least from my perspective, battling out with Jeff Sims. That's why he chose it. It wasn't that he felt like, or it's not that it's definitely not that Jackson State's a better place than Nebraska. Jackson State is a better program than Nebraska. Jackson State has more cachet than Nebraska. Jackson State offers him the best opportunity individually to get to Jacksonville State, right? It's Jacksonville State, right?
Mm-hmm.
So get down to Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jackson State's a mother dude.
Yeah. You get to Jacksonville. Get down to Jacksonville State, knowing that once he gets there, everybody's assuming at a high percentage he is going to be the starter. Establish himself just like he did at Nebraska in the locker room and through his work ethic and production on the field, especially at that level, and get in there with Rich Rod and the offensive coaches and take off. And then he will go into fall camp in a very short time. And let's just say, 6-7 weeks, right? Since just say it's June, they'll probably report, well, I guess into August. So in 8 weeks, he's coming in expected to win, the starting spot in the first game of the season. So that's, I think, what it comes down to his decision.
And they play week 0. So
yeah, so they're going to be playing the same weekend at Nebraska play. So I think it's a good opportunity for him, and you got to be happy. Number one, it lets you know a lot about Logan. Look, he stayed here. He graduated, so he's a grad transfer. It wasn't like he left after 1 year and was disgruntled or didn't want to compete. He's competed more times than most people probably would stay themselves. He had plenty of reasons and times to leave, right? Even if you look at last year, whereas he did some good things. They bring in Casey, and Casey is, better than everybody else in there. He didn't quit. He didn't bicker. He didn't do any of that. So he's a true, you talk about staying power. You talk about somebody coming to Nebraska because they want to be here. He fits the script, and that's obviously with the coaches and the coaching staff getting fired that originally recruited him. So
man, he's Rod Smith is the quarterback coach down there.
Yeah, he's gonna be all right.
Wait, he got a dude.
Yeah, you're not. See,
he got a dude, man.
See, the thing is now when you have to go. First of all, if he has aspirations of playing professional football, was the NFL, CFL, USFL, XFL. Number one, there's more pro leagues to go play, right? And there's more pro leagues to develop. But even just take that all away and just say that, like old school, there's just NFL and the CFL.
Right.
They go and look at these universities, Jacksonville States and stuff like that, just as hard as they do as the big Power 5 schools because of the way the offenses are structured and the rules of today's games, right? It's very, very offensive friendly. He's going to go down there and look, he can throw the ball. Doesn't have the strongest arm, but he can throw, with good enough that's competent. He's a smart kid. He's a tough kid. And he can put his foot in the ground, and he can definitely be that dual threat quarterback. And he's right up Rich Rod's alley and Rod Smith. So, he'll do well, and you wish him the best.
So now what does that mean for the Huskers at the quarterback position?
I mean, it means that Henry Harburg has got to have he has got, I think they started today, but he has to have not just a good summer, not a great summer. He has to have a phenomenal summer. A phenomenal summer is one that where you don't have any off days, one that where you don't have a day that you're not getting better, that you can't have a day that you're not progressing, right? And what he needs to do, right? Because you look at the guy that's been kind of forgotten, who could really make some shockwaves. Because I think the bigger story is going to be who the number 2 quarterback is Chuba Purdy. If Chuba Purdy finds a way to get out of his own way, that means the nerves, the anxiety, learning how to play the quarterback position and play with the right temperament and speed, right? So you can accentuate his athletic ability and his arm strength and his ability to run.
Yeah.
Heinrich Harburg is going to be in a
day-to-day
battle for it. So,
and you got to do behind him, sit back and peeking over the shoulder. Who's a high school national champion. Right. So when it comes to making plays,
yeah. So it's no rest for the weary, but they should be preparing as if we're going to push Jeff Sims. Just because you're named the starter right now, don't think you're just going to eat donuts and bonbons and show up and just kind of go through the motions. We're here to get better too. We're on scholarship. We think we're good enough to play, and so it just means that the guys behind them, the second, third, and fourth, wherever they're at right now, all need to be in a heated day-to-day competition for the backup job. And then once you get there, then I got to tap Jeff Sims on the shoulder and say, listen, I'm coming for your job as well. So once you get that, then your quarterback room is fine. So, it just means that with Logan Smothers gone, who's kind of, I think, more of I think he make any coach sleep well at night. You know that if you need him for a 2 or 3 game stretch, you're not like, oh, we can't win with him. You think with better coaching, better skill positions around him,
Do you want Jeff Sims adjacent, or do you want Jeff Sims different as your backup? Do you want Jeff Sims in repeat, which seems to be Chuba, or do you want something different in the guy who is backing up your number 1?
I guess that for me, I mean, the coach is going to make their decision. For me, I don't want it the exact same, but I don't want to have to change my whole offense because DP or Austin goes in.
Yeah.
Now, if you're really good at doing something different than what I do as the starter, which is Jeff Sims, well, then, yeah, because what that does is that gives me a distinct advantage is if we have to play 3 games. So that means you have to prepare totally different than what you did for Jeff Sims.
I don't want to say that Harburg is not Jeff Sims adjacent. He's a different version of Jeff Sims. But from the coaching standpoint, is your play calling different with Harburg than it is Sims
it is
Purdy?
Everything I think depends on the summer.
I think it has to be different. Jeff Sims has started 3 years. Heinrich Harburg hasn't played it down.
Well, but we're literally putting them in the same room in the same depth of water.
But Heinrich Harburg was the fanfare media coverage guy, right? I mean, he was running over people left and right, and he made some improvement. And he himself didn't jump in the portal. He decided to stay in and compete. Chuba Purdy, because of Logan Smothers being there and Casey, because everybody's wondering what Casey's doing, and Logan was there as well. Chuba Purdy has been under the radar, right? Now, whether he's taking advantage of the opportunity or not, he's going to get another opportunity, because you got to think they had 6 guys in that room, Torres included. Take Jeff Sims' reps out of it, and in case he wasn't available, okay, there's 4 guys trying to get reps between 2 units. That's not a lot of reps. Now you got to think. Casey's gone. He's went and found a home. Torres has found a home. And Logan has found a home. So if I'm Chuba and Heinrich Harburg is there, I just might just go and say, listen, bro.
Don't you answer the phone? Right?
No, I'll be like, look, bro, you might have had good spring, but listen here, I'm about to take your spot here this summer. Because I would ask you this, DP. Okay, take Chuba's. I don't even know what the coaching term of it when you're getting in your own way and just
doing too much.
Yeah, doing way too much.
Right.
Okay, dude, you playing at 10,000 miles an hour. I need you at 1,000. But take that up to a side. Say he's figured that out. Say that's been his big project since spring ball to reporting today to get busy today. That's the challenge that he's met. throwing the ball, who do you think in your opinion, who throws the ball better, Chuba or Heinrich?
Which ball?
It just okay. Who throws the ball
football.
better? Who
No.
Who throws the ball better?
Because if we're running last year's Nebraska offense.
No, we're talking this year.
This year's offense.
We're talking about right. You've seen both of them play.
Slants to the hash.
Mid-level. We don't need it. It's at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Short, medium, deep routes. Take them all together. If we had to say
if Chuba's being smart, Chuba, if Chuba's being smart, Chuba, only do what I've coached you to do. Right? Only do what I've coached you to do.
But I'm asking you to make a decision. I'm not asking you what you telling Chuba. I'm asking. See Austin. See this? He trying to like squirm out. I'm asking you directly. Okay, these two pins right here. Okay,
the more
Chuba,
arm talent is Harburg.
Heinrich.
Arm talent is Harburg. Touch is Chuba.
Right, but that's not the point though. I'm at okay. Here's what I'll do. Now I'm gonna make you make a decision.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna play this out here. Okay.
Should I start whistling now?
Yeah, we're just now. Listen,
whistle to myself.
DP. Just imagine here.
No, Jay. No.
Just imagine this. Okay. Nebraska is going into. Do we play at home against Iowa? Okay, we got the last
home game against Iowa.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're 8-3.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to win this game.
Chuba.
To go to Indianapolis.
Chuba.
And listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
It's 31 degrees because I want it below freezing. Hold on now. See, you jump into it's 31 degrees.
You're answering a lot of questions for me.
Oh no, I'm not because it's 31 degrees. That means technically it's below freezing. Text line, Sartor Hammond text line. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It's misting. Going to be sleet.
Yes.
After halftime.
Yes.
Who are you picking?
Chuba.
Why?
Athletic ability. I've seen him in a similar situation. I have knowledge of Chuba in said situation.
Where?
We saw him 2 years. We've seen Chuba.
We've seen him Michigan.
I saw him at Florida State.
The playing gets corrupted. Mop time don't count.
I don't have that.
But I'm talking about elements. Though.
Remember how I think. I'm loyal to facts and knowledge. I'm loyal to it.
Right.
I'm obsessed with it. So what I know to be true about Chuba versus what I think to be true. Harburg is the girl at the bar that I just met.
Oh no.
Chuba, I don't know if Harburg can cook in the cold, in the hot.
Right.
I don't know I don't know.
But I'm gonna ask you this though. As a coach. Okay. It's November 26th, right?
Yep.
Is that when it is? The game? November 20, whatever.
Black Friday.
Black Friday.
It's cold out.
Okay. So hold on. You've been named the coach over a year ago. Okay. So that means you didn't have both of these quarterbacks all through spring.
Yep.
All through winter conditioning.
Yep.
All through like summer camp. All through fall camp. And then a whole season. And you're trying to tell me that you don't know that you don't know what Heinrich Harburg is made of when it's tailor-made for him. It's snowing. It's cold. He's 6'4". He's Tim Tebow 2.0 Nebraska style. And you're trying to tell me what Chuba Purdy did 3 years ago, a la COVID,
I don't know if he got yellow socks when in the pressure moment.
You in the quarterback room.
I don't know. Listen, what I know to be true, I make my decisions on what I know, not what I think I know.
So you one of them guys that you ain't never gonna get this man a chance.
I'm gonna give him a chance. He got all the time to practice. If he haven't already made the decision for me by November 23rd, it ain't no decision for me to make.
But you ain't giving him a chance because you're talking about what he did.
He
in the
had
past.
a fair chance. Now, I'm talking about what I don't give credit for what you haven't done. I give people credit for the things that they've accomplished.
Okay, so what has Chuba done?
Chuba has put his hands under center at Memorial Stadium when it's cold out and the weather's nasty and the opponents across the field want to take his face off. I know how he's going to respond to 90,000 yelling at him. I know he's going to show up and be ready. I don't know what Harburg going to do. Listen, he could be Superman under that cape.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask you this.
Yep.
Okay. You lactose intolerant.
Yes, sir.
Do you want cheese on your? I mean, you're gonna eat a cheese pizza or some cereal. So essentially, you're saying, you know what? I know what this diarrhea does. I'm not willing to go the other mile, even though I'm gonna have diarrhea. That is right there. There's no way in the world that you're telling me that you know what Chuba's gonna do, and you're not willing to give Heinrich Harburg what I would have expected you to say and say, listen, to make me sleep well the night before the game. on Black Friday.
Uh-huh.
That means I went and had my nice Thanksgiving meal. The team showed up on time, and I can get me my 3 or 4 hours because coaches never sleep the night before the game. That I'm gonna start Chuba Purdy because the only reason
I'm gonna flip the question though.
Is because he started before. But I would expected you to say is I'm playing Tim Tebow 2.0.
I'm gonna change the question. I'm gonna change the question for you. All right, Jay, you are here. This is the old black shirt crew, right?
Right.
The black shirt crew. And y'all about to face, this is the game, this is the conference champion. This is Iowa on Black Friday. But it's the black shirts. Now, I got a dude who showed up at practice every year for the last year. Like you saw him at practice, you saw him go against the pipeline. He may not have been successful all the time, but you know that he's going to show up and continually fight the black shirt at the black shirt level, and he showed up. Or there's the new dude who just showed up, who looked good in his T-shirt. He cut off the bottom of the shirt. He looked good. He flexed up, right? He looks good coming out of the tunnel. He looks good standing on the sideline when the camera pan and they see him. He flexing, arms ripple. He all up in there, and he say, "Hey, Coach Osborne, walk up. Hey, Foreman, we down one. Who do you want us to go with in the game that matters? You want flex all 1,000, or you want the dude who's face down the pipeline and honors the black shirts by showing up and representing? Who are you going with, Jay Foreman?"
I'm going. I'm going. Here's why I would go with Heinrich.
Okay.
Here's why.
Okay.
Potentially.
Okay.
But I still think Chuba might leapfrog Heinrich, right? But I'm just playing devil's advocate of where we stand right now. Okay, because I don't think Chuba, I think, is gonna have to have a superior summer.
Yes.
He has ground to make up, and he has to make it up to get where he says he wants to go and reach his potential.
Agreed.
And a lot of it's his own doing, right? Playing the position and doing the small thing. That's his choice. Those are personal choices. Here's why in that scenario I'm going with Harburg, or Harburg's going to play at least 50% of the time.
Okay.
Because Harburg brings a dynamic that Chuba doesn't bring in that game. Cold, a physical game. Because if for me as a coach,
does he?
Nobody has done anything. Chuba hasn't done anything to say.
When it break down, remember, we still got to factor in the offensive line, the receivers we don't know about.
That. I'm looking at individual here. Chuba has not done anything to date here.
He's been a starter here.
And
he's been a starter.
Okay,
here.
And
that's one more.
Two coaches got fired.
Look.
I don't care.
He didn't get him fired. Look, Chuba ain't the reason why.
I'm not saying he get fired, but he didn't do anything. He didn't stop me from bringing in Jeff Sims. He didn't stop me from keeping Casey.
First of all, the people that brought him in don't know Jeff Sims either.
Right, but my
like real talk, they don't know nothing about Jeff Sims.
But listen, Chuba has not done anything here to be looked at any different. Besides, just take Jeff Sims and put him in a whole different avenue. There is nobody in that quarterback room.
You have one quarterback
that
who has taken a snap at Memorial Stadium in front of 90,000.
But
you have one.
You can't. You can't run with because you started the game. Do you know how many guys that started a game in Nebraska couldn't play dead? Do you know how many guys that started in the NFL that can't play dead?
You naming names? Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me get my pad and pen here.
I mean,
because Jay Foreman just said we had some people that
got
started.
some guys that didn't play, can't play.
Austin,
dead.
You heard it. You got the clip, right?
It's there.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, if you had said he started a season, a whole season.
Remember the conversation you had with Steve Sipple a year ago?
Yep, and I told him.
And he told you.
And he told me this. And this is it.
I love this conversation too.
Steve Sipple actually thought his little butt was going to boot it. He would have Steve Sipple was about to get folded up underneath that chair. He told me it was real.
Yes, that Chuba
was going to beat out Casey. I said, listen, Steve, there is not a day that ends in Y that Casey Thompson ain't going to start. And I ain't even seen a practice. Okay.
Jay called me. He literally called me, and Jay never calls. He'll text something like, and he'll just send one word, Sipple. Like, it's just
it ain't happening. This ain't taking nothing away from Chuba, but Chuba starting is not going to be like, that's not going to be the deciding factor. The game, the situation, and essentially, I'm assuming Heinrich Harburg is taken to this coaching and opportunity. Hence the last word.
Right.
Why are you assuming Chuba isn't, though?
Because he hasn't. Well, first of all, Heinrich Harburg is the number 2 quarterback right now, today. Why?
We don't know he's more physical.
Why?
He looks
Well,
better.
because
for
he
sure
had the
does,
better spring.
but-
He's the number 2 quarterback
Did he?
right coming out of spring.
Did he? What the dude that went 0 for 7 in the spring game? 0 for
the
9?
spring game, come on, man.
That's all we know.
No, it's not.
That's all.
No, it's not.
I can
No,
tell
it's
you.
not.
I
It's
tell
the
you
tea
what.
leaves.
I
It's
saw
the
him
tea
in
leaves.
practice 5 times. I tell you what. You can't tell me that he was that he had better practices.
You want to go double nothing to T-Bone? Come the season. Okay? Tim Tebow, number 2, going to start out number 2.
I'm
now,
okay. I'm
if
okay
he
with that.
dookies down his leg, that's on him.
I'm okay with that.
As of right now, Tebow number 2 is now granted, it takes some big cojones because he'd almost got moved to fullback and linebacker and tight end.
Like, this is what I'm talking about.
Right.
Like that they looked at this dude and went, maybe another position is in your future. Because that's what they do with number ones, right? That's what you do with number ones.
Some people did that, but then what Matt Rule said, no, player, you up in this quarterback role.
Look, I'm not. Let's
Just
be
say
clear.
it with me.
Can I
Just
be
say
clear? Let me be clear. Let me be clear.
Whoa.
Let me be clear. If Heinrich Harburg is starting at quarterback for Nebraska on day 1, I'm going to applaud anyway. I'm going to stand and cheer because that meant that he did some work.
That means Jeff Sims came up here and
but it means what it means, right? That for
right.
the sake of
I mean,
okay, right?
You're right.
It means what it means. So if Harburg's the guy, I'm going to applaud that. It's not my job to applaud him in full before it happens. I would say this point of for reference sake. Austin is here. I know what Austin does. If I don't think that Austin's the number 1 host in my future, then that's on me to create and craft based on what I know with Austin.
Right.
I get phone calls every day from people who tell me they're the next great thing, even some dudes who think they're currently the biggest thing. And I say, I would not trade Austin for nobody else's number 1 because I'm loyal and I know what I get with Austin. I know how good he is at what he's good at.
Right.
That's all that. Like, I can't always. I can't chase the new chick, man.
Oh, he been here longer than Chubba, though.
I can't chase the new chick.
He been here longer than Chubba.
No, Chubba got here before Austin got to the ticket.
But he ain't been.
Me and Austin was watching Chubba together side by side. And remember the conversation we had?
Let me ask
vividly.
You this. Let me ask you this, DP. Okay, and I want you to think about this over the break.
We long as a bug.
Over the break. Yep. Tell me 4 things Chubba's done.
Okay.
Positive.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
4.
After the break.
Tell me
Got
4
it.
things.
Got it.
In a game.
Got it.
And they better be good.
Got it.
Not
just from the one game he started. Man. Just from the one game he started.
We're going.
Gotcha.
We're putting that game up on that YouTube.
Let's do it.
We out. We'll be right back. We're sorry we went overtime, but we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
There's never been a better time to earn more on your checking account. Open a free Kasasa Cash checking account with Liberty First Credit Union and earn up to 5.5% APY for up to $40,000. It's simple. Open your Kasasa Cash checking account online or stop into any of the 4 Lincoln locations or Seward and Omaha branches. Liberty First makes switching easy, and Kasasa checking is always free. See libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
It's May, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride. Summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Time for a new AC? Call Bryant. Get rebates now and lower operating costs every day. For comfort and efficiency, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Hi, this is Becky from Midwest Bank, and our team is here for you. From our friendly staff to our innovative products to our online banking and mobile app, All of our services are designed with you in mind. We'll help you open a checking account, apply for a loan, open a credit card, or start saving for the future. We do it all. We're your local community bank, a trusted partner that's here to serve you. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Nebraska's favorite vape shop.
Generation V.
Providing friendly, personalized service and the largest selection of vaporizers and e-liquid flavors in the state.
Generation V.
Generation V will beat or match any local competitor's price. With a huge selection, great service, and the lowest prices, Generation V is your one-stop shop for all your vaping needs.
Generation V.
With 4 Lincoln locations, visit us on the web at generationv.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at premierdw.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
If you're interested in installing solar panels in Nebraska, there's a name you need to know. Solar by Alpine Electric is based out of Lincoln, and you can be sure your project will be handled with care and detail because Rick, the owner of Solar by Alpine Electric, will be involved in the entire process from start to finish. We're an REC Solar Certified Pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Call Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
He's dominant in the practices, man. Hey, man.
Practice squad All-Americans.
Listen, man.
Practice squad All-Americans.
I think both of these dudes will do all right. Look, they got to have a big summer, man. There's
the biggest summers in history.
Everybody on that team has to have a great summer.
Jeff Sims, I hope you brought your Superman cape to Lincoln. I hope
he's got weapons now for this offense. He's got to get. You know, the one thing
who's as good as Trey Palmer?
Well, I mean,
who is as good as Austin Vogelbach?
Travis Vogelbach.
Travis Vogelbach. Who's Austin Allen or Travis Vogelbach?
Austin Allen 2 years ago.
Who's better than any of the last 3 tight ends to play here that are now headed towards the NFL?
But you're asking about finished products versus guys that are playing.
I give full credit.
But
something accomplished. Look, we live in a world where
but Trey Palmer's not on the team though.
Well, but I'm asking the question: are you better? Is there more talent on the team right now than there was a year ago? At any offensive position,
depth-wise,
at any offensive position, are they better than they were a year ago?
Well, Nebraska, Marcus Washington is back, right? So that's an even wash. So Trey Palmer,
who's Trey Palmer good?
But you're not going to replace Trey Palmer in 1 year.
You better. You playing in the Big Ten Conference? Big Ten don't care.
No, you're not going to be able to do that.
Okay, sounds like a problem
because Trey Palmer, the way he finished last year, is a finished product. So you're asking somebody that's here trying to get better, right? So essentially, besides Marcus Washington, you're asking somebody to be, say you're number 4 on the depth chart last year.
Mm-hmm.
You're essentially saying number 4 on the depth chart has to be as good as the finished product that is now eventually going to play on Sundays. That's not a real.
That's what Ohio State did. That's what Michigan did.
But if we were Ohio State and Michigan, we wouldn't have a new coach. If
Well,
we were Ohio State and Michigan, we wouldn't have hired Scott Frost.
You're making my point.
Where we are at right now is for Jeff Sims in this offense, they are going to try to have to establish their identity first and foremost inside the guard box, and then
let me address
and
this,
then
dude.
on the wing.
Let me address the text line. Cole, listen, man. If you say first of all, don't put words in my mouth. Stop doing it. Second of all, I know Billy Kemp the fourth. I know his family. I know his high school coach. I know his receivers coach in Virginia. Please do not tell me. Please do not put that in my mouth. Don't put that on me because none of it's true. Like, sit on it. Like, just sit back and chill. Sit back and chill.
They got pieces.
Come
now,
on.
There won't be as good as Trey Palmer was at the end of the season, but they can be. What they have to do, what the hard part is, and nobody knew how good Trey Palmer was at the beginning of the season. To be honest with you,
yeah.
Trey, it was whether either it was question mark whether Trey Palmer was going to be able to eventually be a number one receiver. Now, Mickey has known him since he was like 12 years old, so he knew Trey Palmer better than anybody that was located here in
Are the coaches better at any position this year?
I mean,
than they were last
that's I mean, time will tell.
Oh, so now you go on time will tell. Okay.
Well, I mean, you can't. I mean, I don't know anybody on this staff. I can't.
Just want to understand how we doing this.
You're asking me a question without even.
Yeah,
I can't answer that question. I don't know whether they're good or not. That's up to them.
So let me answer the question. Like we were talking about the difference between Chuba and Harburg, right? Like that was fair. That was what you asked me, right? Come up with four things that Chuba.
Yeah, tell me four things that he does right now.
Okay, so let me go through this.
Besides throw interceptions and fumble the ball.
That's
minimum?
most quarterbacks behind bad offensive lines. Is that a fair
statement?
statement?
He did that at Florida State. It was them too. So at some point down, there's a common denominator.
Oh well, they got their coach chased out of there too.
Right.
Like so, sometimes it is what it is. I don't have a problem with the guy who has an 81 rating before he gets hurt at Michigan on the road in the big house in bad weather. That bad weather you were talking about. Now they didn't score any points, but that wasn't a Chuba Purdy thing. That wasn't a Chuba thing. You can look at the game film from Michigan and the grades for the offensive line and the receivers who couldn't get off the line of scrimmage and the tight ends who ran the wrong routes in wrong situation and the running game that didn't exist. Right? We could go and do that dance.
We could do that. Okay, look, that's one.
Right?
I'll give you that one.
Then let's go to 6 for 11 against Michigan. And if any quarterback on this roster works at an 81% quarterback rating against Michigan, we will applaud. Is that fair?
Not when you score 3 points.
No. But I mean, I'm asking like okay. So
we gotta get to 2,
then
3,
Michigan.
4.
Then Michigan. He was 6 for 16.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. One interception, 37% completion, 37.5%. Quarterback rating of 33. Nobody's happy about that. Nobody is happy about that. But if we go back and look at the last 4 years, even with Adrian Martinez against Minnesota, the numbers look the same. When you're out-coached, scheme versus scheme, and coach versus coach, the players become the victims. That's the responsibility of the coaching staff. Every great coach we ever know will take the blame for how that played out. Now, what do we know about Harburg? What do we know?
Hey, what was the dude's offensive coach? What's his name?
Mark Whipple.
You think Whipple is going to come on this radio station right now after going 6 for 16 and tell you when he was skipping rocks out there twice, fumbled the ball, you going to say that? You think he's going to say that was on me?
He should.
No, I'm asking, do you think
he should?
He should, but do you think he is?
I don't. I think that's why he's not here.
If your quarterback,
I think that's why he's not here. The fact that he wouldn't accept responsibility and be accountable for his work, for his students. He's the teacher. If your students aren't getting the information and it's not showing up on testing exam, every teacher gets fired. You get fired at the end of the year if your testing doesn't show up.
All right, we gotta get to number 3 because I got rebuttal to that. I got here. I got here number 3. I'm amused right now.
Okay, so Illinois.
I bought number 1. Number 3 on a scale of 1 to 7 is like a 3.67.
I'm not saying he's going to be all Big Ten.
I want number 3.
I'm not saying he's going to be anything
I need number
other than
3.
trouble. Number 3. So if you go through, he played against Illinois in a game where Nobody performed offensively.
Yeah.
Nobody performed offensively. 3 of 8 with a pick, low rating. The QB rating is off the charts bad. It's horrible. All of those numbers, terrible numbers against Illinois. But if we graded every group I remember having the conversation with you after Illinois. We literally agreed that there was no group on the field that deserved a positive point rating on the way you grade after games. No group. No group. No group. No group. So quarterback room, F. F for Illinois. So everybody that played in it, the coaching scheme, the execution, F. All of it's an F. Now, what grade do we give Harburg? Incomplete. We do not know. We do not know. Chubba Purdy.
I'm waiting on number 3.
No. Number 3 is never lose, always learn. Who's the smarter quarterback right now? Right now, who's the smarter quarterback? Chubba. Knowledge, experience is knowledge. And what he now knows is he faced the Big Ten champion.
I can't believe
in their building.
I can't believe you
in their building. Listen, in the buildup of players,
so you're just saying he played so bad that he's gonna play different?
He can't play worse.
Okay, then we just need to go to number 4.
He can't.
I need as much time in this last little short segment.
Okay.
For a rebuttal.
Okay. The number 4 is the dude he's competing with, playing against walk-ons, missed 7 straight passes.
What Chubba dude did?
Chubba was let's see here. Chubba was 4 for 9 for 39 yards, which was 40 yards more than Harburg in similar situations in the same vacuum in the same exam. So somebody took the exam and went 4 for 9 for 39 yards. The other one went 2 for 9, got the first 7 answers incorrect, and then went 2 for 2 for negative yards. Negative. And I'm supposed to give to the negative yardage dude.
Man.
And listen, I couldn't coach my way through kindergarten flag football if I chose the dude who was negative yardage over the dude with positive yardage.
Those are your 4?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. With that being said, we go on the break. I need 3 minutes to come back because I got about 4 or 5 rebuttals of those.
You'll have 5 minutes.
I need all 5 minutes. I can't believe what I just heard, man. I am dumbfounded right now. Jay Foreman, Derek Purdy.
I can't breathe.
Jay Foreman, Derek Purdy, and Austin Norman. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nebraska's favorite vape shop.
Generation V.
Providing friendly, personalized service and the largest selection of vaporizers and e-liquid flavors in the state.
Generation V.
Generation V will beat or match any local competitor's price. With a huge selection, great service, and the lowest prices, Generation V is your one-stop shop for all your vaping needs.
Generation V.
With 4 Lincoln locations, visit us on the web at generationv.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in May. Try their pesto cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. And try the Karma Latte, as 10% of proceeds from that drink will go to the Teammates Mentoring Program. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Hi, I'm Barb Bettine, President and CEO of the Lincoln YMCA. On behalf of the Y, I want to thank you for voting us Lincoln's Choice for Best Youth Sports Programs, Best Youth Activity Programs, and Best Preschool. These categories represent so much of what we do at the Y, and we're honored to serve thousands of families in our community each and every day. Hey, with summer just around the corner, I invite you to stop in to one of our 4 branches and learn how the Y can be a part of your family. The Y Outdoor Pools open May 27th, and we can't wait to see you.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and we are celebrating a record sales month in April, and we're going to let it roll and crank up in the month of May. We have some big discounts and special interest rates going on this month on selected new in-stock Sierras and Silverados. Buy a new Silverado or Sierra, get $3,000 off or 1.9% interest. You heard right, $3,000 off or 1.9% interest. We have outstanding specials on all of our new and pre-owned GM certified units. So stop on in and see us or check us out online at copplecars.com. You'll be glad you did. New discount must trade in and finance with the roof credit.
Problem gambling affects more than the gambler. It affects spouses, children, extended family members, and friends. If you are a loved one who's struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 476-2300.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Time for a new AC? Call Bryant. Get rebates now and lower operating costs every day. For comfort and efficiency, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This guy Jay has a grin on his face.
Hilarious.
We are back. We got
his head's about to pop off.
We got 5 minutes, man.
Yeah.
And listen, the rebuttal is not saying that either one of these younger men can't get the job done. I'm just saying the way it stays at where it's at right now, from my assumption, where it looks like Double H or H2 Hummer H2 is the number 2. Now going into a game, I would expect him and Chubba Purdy to have gotten better. And I think with this coaching staff, even though Jeff Sims is the starter, they're not just going to gloss over the backups. I'm fully on board and know that's not how they roll, right? So then by November or late October, Halloween or whatever, you would expect Heinrich has gotten better at what he needed to get better at, same with Chubba. Right. And I think a lot of the Chubba stuff is just, in his head, learn how to play. And so when it comes down to it, there's only 2 coaches I wish I got to play for, right? Or had the opportunity to, I guess, turn down. I didn't go to Michigan State when Saban was there. My dad made that call, but I was extremely impressed by him. But one thing is Bill Parcells. And he talked about his commandments for a quarterback, right? And you hear him talk about it. He says number 7 is the most important one. Throwing the ball away is a good play.
Agreed.
Sacks, interceptions, and fumbles are bad plays. We cannot have those.
Agreed.
So I've seen enough of that.
Okay.
So ideally, though, with coaching and a different offensive scheme that I think is more quarterback friendly, right? So what I mean by that is when we talked about Chubba getting in against Illinois, right? Chubba's only in the game because of, one, it was a misprotection by with one of the running backs, supposed to be check release. He just released. Okay. So then by releasing, he released the defensive end to blow up Casey's arm. Rest is history, right? Casey ended up eventually on the surgery table. Okay. But
when I talk about offensive schemes that could be more quarterback friendly, I'll always go back to that Rutgers game. 5 out with 5 protection, letting any team in the Big Ten or FCS, I don't care who it is, they're going to pin their ears back and they're going to have a sack party on your quarterback. So with that being said, both quarterbacks I expect to get better. So if I had to choose between two, I'm looking at Chuba has done number 7 more. Now, ideally, Heinrich hasn't. Heinrich has a lot of ways to go in the sense of lack of experience, which Chuba doesn't have a lot, lack of execution, throwing touch, right? But I think in this scheme, I don't think anybody has an advantage because I think there's ability to have, if I look at Satterfield's offense at South Carolina, I call it levels routes, right? Something, kind of an emergency outlet, something that could give you advantage with the receiver coming from backside or play side at the second level and possibly, depending on the coverage and their adjustment, something to, hit up the sideline and, house call it. That's where you're seeing South Carolina really take off. But one of the things I had to really look at in Bill Parcells is number 4, know your job cold. This is not a game without errors, but keep yours to a minimum. Study. Again, 4 and 7. So when you think about a cold game, right, and let's just assume both quarterbacks teeter too much on 4 and 7, right, which is not winning football from the quarterback position. I'm going to play both, but somebody that gives me the distinct advantage, if he's able to use our scheme where we can work half the field, where you saw like a lot of Jeff Sims. Now, granted, Heinrich Haarberg didn't have the cherry on top, icing on cake from what what we were told to assume from spring and told to assume from social media posts, interviews, and what other people on the team had been saying, players. They're saying that he had really, done well. Opportunity, right? Casey's hurt, X, Y, and Z. The spring game wasn't his best showing. But even though Chuba's no punk, right? Being 6'2", 210, right. Heinrich Haarberg gives you a little bit more of that running power, though. It's just
when things go wrong.
When things go wrong. Mm-hmm. So that would lead me in a sleek game, in a game to where we assume it's going to be a 10-3 game, 13-3 game, or something real low scoring, where we need ball handling is the key. I've already seen ball handling that is worse. Okay, now that's just kind of that's like promotion by demotion, right? And here's an example. I had a basketball player come and like, hey, I want to try out for you. I asked him about what happened at the other organization. He's like, well, I might see if I can move up because other guys don't want to play on this team. I was like, well, you didn't make that team. You only be making that team because other people weren't satisfied where they're at and they decided to go somewhere else. Promotion by demotion. That would be more of a Heinrich Haarberg. But I would be, if all things stay the same, which I don't think it will, because I will say this. I think Chuba is going to make some. I mean, the way he played last year, I think is inexcusable. Now, I do think there was some coaching involved, lack of coaching, right, and situation, right. I think the offensive line got hung out to dry. Which then, if you hang out the offensive line, it is the quarterback. I think he's going to make some waves, but let's just say he's the same, under 50% turnovers. Okay, then I'm going to go with Heinrich.
I don't disagree with any of that. I mean, so real talk, Haarberg's arm talent is the best talent on the team. Jeff Sims has a great arm. Haarberg has natural arm talent that you just can't develop. You can't coach it. It just exists. Like lightning bolt from God. Then you want to know whether his decision-making and his ability to compete, his ability, like we saw what he did in high school when he was the best player on the field. What do you do when the dudes against you are Michigan and they're just as good as you are? What do you do when it's not a 5'7", 170-pound corner against your 6'1" wide receiver?
That's what training camp's for. That's what the summer's for. I'm telling you, and I will say this, and we can end it on this. If Chuba's healthy, that means if they're both healthy, right? One's not rehabbing and can't throw and all that. They both are out there. The talk isn't going to be about who's going to start. It's going to be about those two. Who's going to be who takes the step to be the head and shoulders number 2.
hopefully it doesn't matter. Like the real talk to this is, if we see either one of them, things have gone horribly wrong.
Well, we only want to see them when it's a blowout.
Like I don't not barely that in one because I don't expect any blowouts. But
well, blowouts which way?
No, we blowing people out the water. You got to get these guys.
Oh, you thinking they're gonna blow people out? Okay, man, good stuff. There's a bit of news. So for Volleyball Day, Nebraska, June 1st, tickets will go on sale. 8,000 additional tickets for the August 30th Volleyball Day Nebraska event.
100,000 people in there.
80,000 additional tickets will go on sale tomorrow. So June 1st. So settle in. If you don't have them, great chance to get them. You can go to Huskers.com or go to the ticket office. But there it is, folks.
There, boy. It's like one of them Roman cathedrals, boy.
Yeah, it's going to be. Yep.
I wonder who's performing.
Yeah, we don't know that yet.
Run the Public Enemy.
Vanilla Ice.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we are celebrating a record sales month in April, and we're going to let it roll and crank up in the month of May. We have some big discounts and special interest rates going on this month on selected new in-stock Sierras and Silverados. Buy a new Silverado or Sierra, get $3,000 off or 1.9% interest. You heard right, $3,000 off or 1.9% interest. We have outstanding specials on all of our new and pre-owned GM certified units. So stop on in and see us or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. New discount must trade in and finance with the roof credit.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
It's May, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors
Time for a new AC? Call Bryant. Get rebates now and lower operating costs every day. For comfort and efficiency, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electric.
This show, which, it's 4 or 5 seasons old?
4 seasons.
4 seasons. Do you consider this one of the greatest TV shows you've ever watched? Which I guess if you say yes, I have to take it with a grain of salt because you are one of those guys that get caught up in the moment that this is the greatest thing as it was happening.
I would say yes, but the caveat